Hey everyone, and welcome in or welcome back. It's a Monkey Mar. Before we get into this video, please make sure you click that subscribe button, the bell for notifications, and of course the like. Alright guys, as I was making this video and getting into details with Mr. Clownface, he was actually captured, and I am going to touch on that after the first article that I read. So with that guys, let's get into it. After reading this article, it gave me a part 2 to a Colorado Crazies. Please do not drink the water in Colorado. And hang on a second. Alright, so this morning I was looking through my Google alerts and checking in on the cases that I follow to see if hopefully anything new comes out of any of them. And of course, Suzanne Morphew popped up because of the skeletal remains that were found out in Conejos County, Colorado. So people are like, oh, it could be her. Oh, I personally do not think it's her. But let's get into the story about the man called Psycho. Oh, he is scary, who they're looking for. And let's go check out the area where these skeletal remains were found. Okay, so suspect named after remains of 3 people found on 2 Conejos County properties. Okay, I thought there was 2 people. I'm sorry, there's 3 remains. Adre Jordan Baroz, 26, is wanted for homicide and should be considered armed and dangerous, investigators said. He definitely looks dangerous. A man commonly known around southern Colorado as Psycho is wanted for homicide after human remains belonging to at least 3 victims were found at 2 separate properties in Conejos County in the San Luis Valley, according to the CBI. The suspect, who was not yet in custody, was identified as 26-year-old Adre Jordan Baroz. Alamosa's Police Chief Anderson said, "We have an active warrant for homicide for Mr. Baroz," said Anderson. "He should be considered at this time armed and dangerous and should not be contacted by the public." Baroz is from Sanford, a small town in the Conejos County just north of the New Mexico border. Remains were found at 2 locations in the county which are close to one another near the town of Las Sauces. The CBI said the small town is about 20 driving miles south of Alamosa. There are skeletal remains, and at this point investigators said they are unable to tell who the victims are or even if they are men or women. In recent months, Monte Vista's police chief George Dingfelder said agencies in the San Luis Valley have been investigating missing persons reports, but at this point those cases are not connected to the remains. Just because human remains were found, we are not associating them with the missing person cases at this time, and for anybody to do so would be irresponsible and complete speculation, Dingfelder said. On November 10th, 2020, investigators from Conejos County Sheriff's Office, let's just call them the CCSO, and CBI went to one of the properties on a warrant related to stolen vehicles and property. The warrant was not related to any missing person cases. However, during that search, remains were found. Their investigation at this first property led them to other property nearby where additional remains were found. Dingfelder said he expected it to take several weeks, 2 months, to identify the remains due to their condition. The remains have been recovered and are being analyzed as part of the identification process. CBI said the property owners are not currently living at the properties where the remains were found. The agency also said they do not believe the remains are connected to the disappearance of Suzanne Morphew, but said all possibilities are being considered. CCSO, the Saguache County Sheriff's Office, Alamosa Police Department, Monte Vista Police Department, and CBI formed a task force to investigate. They did so because all of the agencies in that area are small and simply don't have the resources needed. A tip line has been set up for information related to the investigation. Anyone who thinks they may have information about the case should call. And of course, I'm going to drop that number down below in the description, and callers can remain anonymous. Crazy. There are a lot of stories that come out of Colorado, and I wonder if they're going to find any more remains or if this is like a serial killer. Let's go have a look at the property and run this guy's name and just see some basics before the story gets any deeper. Let me just read this little part real quick. So it says the remains were found on 2 properties west of the Rio Grande in the community of Las Sauces. Forensic analysis confirmed that they belonged to the 3 different people, investigators said Wednesday. So of course they go on that we have to wait to find out who they belong to. And where's that one part? It says Colorado Department of Corrections records show Baroz was in prison from March 2016 until November 2018. He was on parole until June 23rd, according to Annie Skinner, a spokeswoman for CDOC. I'm going to look for his record, and also I did find 2 addresses on him, but they are not where Las Sauces County, Las Sauces the city is. But I will show you that before I wrap up this video. But I am definitely going to stay on top of this. They are actually saying, if this is not creepy, so the Monte Vista Police Chief George Dingfelder said investigators are still searching the second property. Though they don't expect to find more bodies, there is no indication that we will find anything else. Multiple people are currently missing from the San Luis Valley area, though officials could not say exactly how many, since they are typically reported to multiple jurisdictions in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico. And then it says Dingfelder cautioned against associating the bodies found last week with any specific missing person case, including that of Suzanne Morphew, the Chaffee County woman who went missing on Mother's Day. To do so, Dingfelder said, would be irresponsible and complete speculation. But I did read that. We simply do not know who the remains are. Alright, let's go have a look where his properties were and where this little town of Las Sauces is. But I also looked and I can't see these properties on the map, but who knows when the map view is. And like I said, I'll show you, but I can't get down onto the street view. And of course, as I was making this video, Adre Jordan Baroz was caught, known as Psycho, in connection with the death of 3 people. The remains of 3 victims were found on 2 properties in Conejos County. Baroz, 26, was arrested at about 3 p.m. this past Thursday in Gallup, New Mexico at a motel. Baroz is facing charges in Colorado on first-degree homicide, first-degree assault, and second-degree kidnapping. So here is the aerial view, and okay, so we've got one property where he was living over here at 6604 Malif Road, and then we've got him over here off of Highway 285, and the properties where they are digging is down here in Las Sauces. And unfortunately, we cannot get down here to look at any of the property lines because Google does not go to this property. And there's not a lot of properties, and from looking from an aerial, it actually looks like it could be this little junction right about, let's see where it is. Who knows? I mean, it could be through here. They said it was west of the Rio Grande. And this is the Rio Grande, Los Aces. There's not too much going on in this town. It's very small. Alright guys, so like I said earlier, I am definitely going to keep my eyes on this case. I am curious to know whose remains were found at 2 different locations, but like I said earlier also, I do not believe for a minute that it's Suzanne Amorfio. I am going to enlarge his picture. It looks like he definitely resisted a little bit. He's got blood on his face, a big cut, tattoos like a clown. I don't know. Alright, look at his face. He's definitely has some bruising. Let's go in a little closer. Oh, he's scary looking. Psycho. I see a little bruise up there over his tattoo. Looks like he's got a little cut up here. Looks like his face was actually pressed against the concrete. Yeah, he looks mean. Alright, guys. So he's been caught, and with that, we are going to have to wait for any new follow-ups. Alright, clown boy. So they got him in Colorado, and I guess now we will wait to see when he goes to court, and then we're going to have to wait to find out if who those bodies are. Maybe he will say. And I am going to do a follow-up video on this when we know more. And here he's smiling. Alright guys. With that guys, I am going to wrap it up. And I want to thank you all for coming in. And thank you for watching. Please like or dislike, whichever you prefer. And subscribe. Everyone have a good day or a good night wherever you are in the world. And stay vigilant. I am out.